Hi guys, welcome back. So today we're going to be discussing one of my favorite topics, which is fragrances or perfumery. I don't think I could love anything more than oud. Is that true? So take a seat, grab a drink, and let's get started. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Arib, and I'm a self-confessed perfume addict. I love everything regarding fragrances and perfumery. As weird as this may sound, I'd rather you could smell me before you saw me. If you're interested in fragrances, fashion, grooming, and lifestyle, make sure you subscribe to this channel and give this video a thumbs up. Traveling to Dubai so frequently as a child, I would say has shaped my olfactory system into what it is today. So in the Middle East, fragrance and perfumes are a huge part of the day-to-day culture and the day-to-day life. But that said, I am someone who has inherently always had a very sensitive nose. So I can literally smell your scent or your aroma from down the road or down the street. Obviously, that only happens once I've locked onto your scent. I can't just go around sniffing random people. I need to be able to familiarize myself with your scent, and then once that's locked on, then I can literally track your scent, which is kind of creepy. But I just want to put it out there that I don't go around sniffing like trees, poles, etc. So because fragrance is one of the first things that I notice about people, if you do get to meet me in person, let's hope your perfume game is on point. And if you don't wear fragrances, then
I don't think we can be friends.
no, I'm just kidding. The thing I enjoy most about fragrances is the fact that it can instantly change your mood. So the moment you spray yourself with a fragrance, your mood can be lifted, it can be toned down. So I typically refer to perfumes as magic in the bottle. Given that I'm currently doing a PhD in chemistry, I thought that I can't not talk about the science behind perfumes and fragrances. So, did you know that we have over 50 million smell receptors in our olfactory system? And these are connected to the frontal cortex of your brain. And this part of your brain basically recognizes smell. And then beyond this, we have the hippocampus. And the hippocampus is what associates a particular smell with a memory or an experience. So when you're going down the street and you notice a smell that you really like, or you notice someone's wearing a particular fragrance that you want, what I'd recommend you do is you go to the store and try it out yourself on your own skin, because our body chemistry is very, very different. So from person to person, the body chemistry differs quite drastically. What I mean by body chemistry is, although this may sound a bit gross, but your sweat composition is different from the person next to you. And every single person has their own unique skin microbiome. So what a skin microbiome is it's a multitude of bacteria which live on the surface of the skin. And what these do is they break down compounds and organic entities differently. So my skin microbiome will be different from your skin microbiome. And because of this, fragrances and perfumes smell differently on different people. In terms of the chemical composition of perfumes are usually synthetic constructs, so a cocktail of organic compounds. And most of these organic compounds are quite simple in nature, meaning that they have very unique functionalities. So the most common types of compounds that you find in perfumes are aldehydes, esters, lactones, and phenols. So because perfumes contain these organic compounds, these compounds are sensitive to light. So what I'd recommend you do is, if you own a collection of perfumes and you don't use them so often, I'd recommend that you store them in a cool, dark place, because that will basically prolong their longevity. Because over time, the compounds in these perfumes will degrade, and that will alter the fragrant properties of your mixture. As well as being able to class perfumes based on the organic compounds that they contain, you can also class perfumes based on the notes. The four main categories that perfumes fit within are citrus, fresh, oriental, woody, and sensual. But amongst these four main categories, you can also have subfamilies of scents. And this can encompass
aquatic, animalic, aromatic, fruity, floral, green, etc.
So usually what you'd see or notice is perfumes straddle either two of these main families or two of the subfamilies. For example, you'll see a floral oriental. A floral oriental, by the way, is my absolute favorite class of perfumes, because it contains an ingredient that is to die for. Like,
I love oud. Like, oh my god, like, I love it. I don't think I could live a day without smelling oud. Like, it's the most fabulous thing ever.
I'm sure most of you know what oud is, and it's become more and more popular nowadays because of its
Sillage?
So I apologize for my French, but what sillage is it's the trail of the perfume. So a perfume with a large sillage will be a perfume that leaves its scent behind for a very, very long time. So a lot of the perfumes that I own are ones which have big sillages. And the reason for that is because I love when you can smell my fragrance in a room 10 or 15 minutes after I've left that room. I would say nowadays, fragrances with a big sillage are becoming more and more popular, especially now that we're social distancing. Because if you want someone to be able to smell you, you want to have a powerful perfume that someone can smell 2 meters away or even like down the road. So if you want to invest in perfumes now, I would suggest getting ones with a powerful sillage. But another way you could increase your perfume's exposure is based on the type of perfume that you buy. So if you go to the store, you'll notice that perfumes are categorized or are labeled with different terms. So you can have an eau de toilette or an eau de parfum. So the spectrum of perfumes that exist are eau de fraîche, eau de toilette, eau de parfum or parfum, and parfum. So what happens in this spectrum is going from eau de fraîche to parfum, you're increasing the percentage of perfume oil found in these products. So eau de fraîche typically have around 2 to 5% of perfume oils, which are diluted in alcohol and water. And then the parfums are typically 25% and above. Obviously, as you go from the most dilute to the most concentrated, the price increases. So my personal recommendation is that you get an eau de parfum, because this is typically around 18 to 20% of perfume oil, meaning once you spray it on yourself will last a very, very long time. Eau de toilette, you will notice the smell will diminish within a couple of hours, whereas an eau de parfum, the smell can last the entire day, if not a couple of days on your clothes. The problem, however, is that the eau de parfums are usually a bit more expensive. So if you're on a budget, then go for the eau de toilette, but otherwise, I would always stick to an eau de parfum. If you want me to discuss more of the chemistry and the science behind the manufacturing and the processing of perfumes, then comment below. So now that we've got all of the science out of the way, I want to discuss the art of fragrances. What I mean by art is how you can make your fragrances work for you. I would say every fragrance has its own journey. What I mean by this is fragrances can be broken down into top notes, middle or heart notes, and base notes. So top notes are organic compounds that have the lightest weight, and therefore they evaporate the fastest. So typically these will evaporate as soon as you spray it onto your skin within an hour. Then you have the middle or heart notes, and these are the second heaviest type of compounds, and they usually last on your skin for several hours, so 3 to 4 hours. And then you have the base notes. The base notes are the ones that you will smell on your skin or your clothes 8 hours and above after applying it to yourself. The good thing about fragrances is you can match these different notes or different scents to particular occasions or experiences. So for example, if you were going for a job interview and you wanted to come across
More mature.
what I'd recommend you do is you wear a perfume that has a more musky or woody scent. Whereas if you're going for like a dinner or a date and you want to come across more joyful and playful, I would suggest the floral, fruity, or oriental notes. And the ability of perfumes to bring out these different personality traits or personas, I think, is incredible. A lot of people have a signature scent, but I'm someone who doesn't have a signature scent, and I like changing my perfumes on a weekly basis. The way I get around this without breaking the bank is literally by perfecting the art of layering. So what layering encompasses is applying multiple perfumes, and by teasing out different notes from different perfumes, you're able to create this whole new scent library. And what I personally do is I contrast a heavy, powerful perfume with a light and airy perfume. By doing that, I tone down the powerful nature of the vibrant perfume and make it more approachable and enjoyable by the majority of people that I would encounter. When it comes to applying fragrances, many people spray the perfume directly onto their wrist and then they rub their wrists together. The problem with this is it stifles the scent. So by doing this frictional motion of rubbing your wrists together, what you're doing is you're evaporating off all of the top notes and sometimes some of the middle notes. What's happening in that process is you're basically breaking or destroying the scent journey. What I'd recommend you do is, instead of spraying it onto your wrist and then rubbing the wrist together, is spraying it straight onto your skin or onto your clothes. So if you notice, most bottles of perfume come in this spray bottle like this. You'll notice that the spray bottle has this atomizer. So what's happening in this process is your liquid inside the bottle is being dispersed into aerosol microdroplets, and these are being spread throughout the air around you. So if you notice, I don't know if you can see, you should be able to see that it disperses over time. So you want to be spraying this perfume from around 15 centimeters away from you, so it's evenly spread onto your clothes and onto your skin. I literally douse myself in it all the time.
It's like fabulous.
So this bottle is from Carolina Herrera. It's the Burning Rose, and it's currently one of my favorite perfumes to wear because it contains Damascus rose, but also ginger and patchouli. So it smells like
Insane.
a good tip that I'd recommend you do is, if you want your perfumes to come across more powerful and more vibrant, is you can spray them directly onto your pulse points. So I'm sure you know what pulse points are. One of them is located on your wrist. Another one is located by your ear, which is where you have the carotid artery. So what these pulse points entail is it's where you have an increased flow of blood. And what this does is it warms up that region of skin, making the evaporation of your fragrances occur much more faster. If you want to see my personal perfume collection, then make sure you give this video a like and comment down below. So on that note, I'd like to end with a quote about fragrances. It's something that resonates with me quite a lot, and that is, fragrance is the voice of inanimate things. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video enjoyable and informative. If you have any tips on perfumes or you'd like to let me know about your personal favorites, then comment down below. Otherwise, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next week. Bye guys.